Let's journey back in time, to a world sculpted by ice and wind. A time when survival was an art, a dance between human ingenuity and the raw power of nature. Imagine a small clan, their world shrinking as the great winter descends. The sky is a canvas of muted grays, and the air bites with a cold that seeps into your very bones. But amidst this frozen wilderness, there is a sanctuary, a hidden haven carved into the earth, where the spark of life is carefully tended. This isn't just a story of survival against impossible odds. It's a testament to the quiet wisdom of our ancestors, who learned to listen to the land and build a home within its embrace. Our story follows Kale, a young hunter, and his family. For generations, his people have weathered these brutal winters, not by fighting the cold, but by understanding it. Their shelter is more than a cave. It's a living system, a masterpiece of prehistoric engineering. It begins with its location. Tucked away on the south-facing side of a limestone cliff, the cave entrance is shielded from the relentless northern winds. It's a lesson learned from watching animals seek similar refuge, a piece of wisdom passed down through countless winters. The entrance isn't a gaping maw, but a narrow slit, just wide enough for a person to squeeze through, minimizing the amount of frigid air that can invade their sanctuary. The real genius, however, lies deeper within. The cave isn't a single large chamber. Instead, it's a network of smaller, interconnected spaces. The outermost chamber acts as a cold trap. Any icy air that slips past the entrance immediately sinks to the floor of this lower-level room. Its energy spent before it can reach the living quarters. A short, upward-sloping tunnel leads from this antechamber into the heart of the home. This simple, elegant design uses the basic physics of air-cooled air sinks. Warm air rises to create a natural thermal barrier. It's a silent, tireless guardian against the -40-degree fury raging outside. Inside the main living area, the atmosphere transforms. Here, the heart of the shelter beats, the fire. But this is no ordinary campfire. It's a carefully managed hearth, positioned not in the center, but against a specific section of the back wall. This spot was chosen because a natural fissure in the rock above acts as a chimney, drawing smoke up and out. Before the first snows, Cal and the elders spent days lining this flue with a mixture of clay and gravel, ensuring a steady, controlled draft. The fire is never allowed to rage. It's kept as a deep, glowing bed of embers that provides consistent, radiant heat. The surrounding rock walls absorb this warmth, slowly releasing it back into the chamber long after the flames have died down, turning the very stone into a massive, gentle radiator. The floor isn't cold, hard rock. It's layered with generations of insulation. The base is a thick bed of dry sand and gravel, which prevents dampness from seeping up from the earth. On top of this is a dense mat of dried moss, fragrant pine boughs, and heather. This organic carpet is soft underfoot and traps a significant layer of air, further insulating the living space from the frozen ground below. Finally, the sleeping areas are covered with the clan's most prized possessions: thick, heavy furs from mammoth, bison, and woolly rhinos. These hides, carefully scraped and treated with animal fats to keep them supple, are draped over raised sleeping platforms built from driftwood, lifting the sleepers away from any residual cold lingering near the floor. Life in the shelter is a rhythm of quiet, purposeful tasks. Kale's younger sister, Ilara, is in charge of maintaining the entrance. After the last person enters for the night, she doesn't just block the opening, she seals it. She uses a large, flat stone shaped over years to fit the opening snugly. But the seal isn't complete without a clever final touch. She packs the gaps around the stone with a mixture of snow and moss. The intense cold outside quickly freezes this mixture solid, creating an airtight seal that is nearly impenetrable to the wind. In the morning, a few strikes from a heavy bone mallet are enough to break the icy mortar and open the way to the world outside. This simple, daily ritual is a critical defense, turning their cave into a fortress against the blizzard. Food is another pillar of their survival strategy. The summer and autumn were frantic seasons of gathering and preserving. Smoked fish hang from the ceiling, their oily scent mingling with the wood smoke. Dried berries and roots are stored in tightly woven baskets, sealed with clay and tucked into cool, dry niches in the rock. And in the coldest part of the cave, the antechamber, lies their frozen larder. Chunks of mammoth and bison meat are stacked like firewood, preserved perfectly by the same cold they seek to escape. Kale's mother, Mara, is the keeper of these stores. She rations the food with a wisdom born of experience, ensuring that their supplies will last until the first thaw. Her cooking is slow and deliberate, using the retained heat of stones pulled from the fire to simmer stews in hide-lined pits, filling the cave with nourishing warmth. One night, the storm reaches its peak. The wind howls like a wounded beast, and the sound of it is a physical pressure against the stone. But inside, there is calm. The fire glows steadily, casting dancing shadows on the walls, where ancient hands painted images of the great herds. Kale sits with his grandfather Tane, mending a spear point with sinew and pine resin. Tane doesn't speak much, but his presence is a comfort. He points a wrinkled finger toward the roof. Water is slowly dripping from a crack, not from melting snow outside, but from the heat of the cave condensing moisture in the air. Tane shows Kale how to place a shallow bowl made from a turtle's shell to catch the drops. It's a small detail, a reminder that their shelter is a dynamic system, always interacting with the world. Every drop of water is precious, another resource provided by their home. The days blend into a peaceful routine, a hibernation of the soul. Stories are told, skills are passed down, and bonds are strengthened in the flickering firelight. Kale learns to read the subtle changes in the fire's glow, to listen to the whispers of the wind through the chimney flue, and to feel the deep, resonant warmth of the stone against his back. He understands that his ancestors didn't just find this cave. They co-created it with the mountain itself. They listened, they learned, and they adapted. Their shelter is not a brute force barrier against nature, but a harmonious partnership with it. It's a legacy of warmth, wisdom, and resilience, a glowing ember of humanity cupped in the frozen hands of a prehistoric winter. And in this deep, quiet refuge, they don't just survive. They live. Thanks for joining this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the ancient world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more stories of human ingenuity and survival.